Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today is Mixed Media Day, and I decided to Scraplift myself. So in 2022, I created this little 4x6 card, and I still have a whole ton of these little wood veneer houses and other little wood veneer pieces left. So I thought I would take this and make it on a larger scale. So I grabbed a stencil, which has never been used, my wood veneer pieces, an old gift card, some 80-pound black cardstock, and my gel press and some texture paste. So the plan is to apply the stencil, and to do this on the bottom, I grabbed my white paper scrap bin. So I will get this all set up and I'll be right back. The reason I grabbed my gel press is because I want to have something that's going to grip the paper so I don't have to worry about repositioning things. So I'm just going to unpackage all of this. If you're someone who does a lot of mixed media, a gel press is a great investment. Please excuse how messy it is. I think that's just a sign that it's well used. And the dogs are up to their normal antics in the living room. Yeah, so the plan is to do a little something like that. And to grab some paste, I'll probably have to reposition this stencil a couple of times. So I'm going to grab some washi. I think the few times I've mentioned this little silicone mat, I've called it a jelly press. It's actually a jelly plate, and it's meant for mono printing or screen printing, I guess. But they're really awesome. I'll link to one of the other videos I've done where I just made backgrounds for all kinds of things like card backgrounds, and I think I made some Project Life cards using my jelly press too. There, I said it again, jelly plate. So I'm just using that old gift card to spread a very thin layer of this paste through the stencil. And of course, if you're going to use this kind of paste, you really need to rinse your stencil right away, because it dries and it's a bit of a nightmare to try to get off. So I'm just drying it in between, and then I will shift the stencil over a little bit and finish up that left-hand side of the cardstock. So I'm not doing the whole page because, as I said, the bottom is going to be layered white cardstock to mimic the look of snow, like snowdrifts. And this paste does not really play well with glue. So having it all over the page might actually make using glue on the bottom part a little bit more tricky. And almost done. All right, so I've got a little bit of fine tuning to do, but that is basically the hard part done. So I'm just going to clean off these little edges, and I'll be right back. Okay, so next step is painting these little pieces. And I was going to use acrylic paint, but my acrylic paint is downstairs and I'm feeling rather lazy. So I think I might just break out my Posca paint pens. I'll grab those and be right back. I started coloring with Sharpie and I didn't like it, and the Sharpies that I have are too thin. And this is a green chalk marker, and then I remembered my tri-blend markers because I had a whole lot more color to play with. So I'm going to do the trees green, and then I'll do the rest white. Just to restate why I'm not using acrylic paint, I find that especially on little detailed wood veneer like this, if you get painting, there are little globs of paint that end up stuck in the little cutouts in the wood veneer, and it makes it a little bit harder to tell what some of the images are. So I opted for just my alcohol markers and, as I said, my Posca paint pens. But in retrospect, I kind of wish that I had done the roofs of these little houses black, because you're going to see here in a little while I'm going to add a detail on with a snow marker. It's like a puffy paint that gets activated with heat. And if I had done the little roofs in black, that little detail would have showed up a lot more clearly. But it is what it is at this stage. And I think I only ended up having to color these little houses once. There are a couple of little spots where the marker it didn't have enough paint going through it, and I fought with this big chunky marker quite a bit, so I may have to replenish a couple of them. But yeah, this is just basically, like I said, the little detail of the snow marker just adds a little something. Plus, it's just fun for me to play with. So if you ever need some sort of 3D effect on like gingerbread men or like little houses or anything like that, snowmen, this little snow marker is really handy. I think I actually bought it through, was it like AliExpress back when they were a thing? I don't remember, but here it is here. So you just use it essentially like you would like a Posca paint pen or any other kind of paint marker. And then the trick is you have to activate it with your heat tool. And you'll see here in a minute, hopefully that shows up on camera, it actually puffs the paint and it gives it a really cool little effect. Probably should have been using tweezers for this because I'm sure I burnt my fingers a couple of times. Yeah, so if I had done the little top portion of the house in like black and then done the snow on top of that, it would have shown up a lot better, but that's okay. And then I was having so much fun, I ended up putting little details of snow on the trees as well. Just a little something. I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better on the trees when they're done. Harder to see the white on white. Yeah, these are just dollar store wood veneer that I picked up quite a while ago, and I've got a lot in my stash, so there'll probably be cards this way too. This little marker is awesome. If you can find them anywhere, I highly recommend, especially for Christmas. All right, and now the easiest part of all, the snow. All I do to make my snow is I grab a sheet of white cardstock and I tear. And then the key is to layer it up so that it actually looks like things are sitting in the snow. So I'm going to see if I can put that little house there to cover my mistake. In the example that I showed you at the very beginning of my video, I had used white acrylic paint and it was fine, but I found that the acrylic paint ended up getting stuck in the little corners of these little houses, and it made it a little less clean looking.
I really like the look of this page when it's done. It's clean and simple, but it was a lot of fun to pull all the different elements together and to break out my heat tool and some mixed media just to get messy. Good times.
This one I want to be a little less precise with. And the good thing is you can use both sides. So I'm thinking maybe this little house. And my last house will probably go somewhere right in the middle. This would also make an awesome Christmas card. That little guy shifted. I might have to break up my hot glue for this little one. We'll see. All right. That is today's page all done. Very happy with the way that one turned out too. I've got to neaten up these edges a little bit, but basically that's it. And I've got to repunch my hole. So I will do those two things and put it in the album, and I'll show you everything all together. So I don't have any set plans for this page, so I think I'm just going to leave it as is. But that's it for today. So don't forget to include a little bit of mixed media in your December daily or in your Christmas in July. This would make a really sweet little card too. You may have to make like a 5x7 with this little scene, but I feel like that could work really nice. All right, friends, as always, thanks for coming to hang out with me, and I will see you next video. Bye for now.